Happy weekend, guys. It's Barb with Inspire Me 360. And what I want to go over in this video is some of the things that you can do in terms of dealing with chronic illness, chronic inflammation, autoimmune disease, cancer, any of the things that you're currently dealing with in terms of your body systems. Now, again, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not a medical doctor. I've only gone through my own health journey. So this advice is coming from obviously the integration of wisdom that I've been able to collect over the years. And again, check these things out, do your own research, and of course, always consult your own doctor. But it is important, again, to understand the body system from both a physical standpoint, a chemical standpoint, an emotional, also a body-brain connection, as well as a spiritual aspect of your beingness. So one of the first things I really want to highlight in terms of creating an abundance of energy, a really anti-inflammatory environment in terms of your body system, and giving yourself the best fighting chance for feeling this emanation of as much life energy as you possibly can. Now, a little bit of my story. I have had my own personal dealings with cancer in my own body. I've had a lot of health problems over the years, and again, it is my own experience of dealing with these things and how I've been able to keep my body, mind, spirit in the best possible shape that I possibly can. Okay, so if you think about what you are in terms of energy and information, one of the most poignant things that we can look at in terms of our total body health would be what we are putting into our body. So if we understand that the body is continually renewing itself, and essentially all of your cellular structure is taking the building blocks and the ingredients that you are giving it to renew itself, to rebuild itself, then you want to choose the best possible sources of not only that infrastructure and the building blocks of life, but also of high-level information. Because again, the body system is a mechanism of informational transfer from all of the different layers of your own existence. So myself, I find that the highest abundance or the highest transferable informational food sources would be that of fruit and vegetables. Okay, anything that is living, full of live enzymes, full of color. So I like to eat the rainbow, everything in terms of what we see in that spectrum of light. Okay, all of the colors of the rainbow. I continually like to have fresh fruits and vegetables. I find, again, in terms of energy, you're going to have a lot of energy when you're eating this way, okay? You're also going to have a lot less chronic pain. This is due to the reduction in inflammation in your body. When we're eating foods that are high in processed elements, processed sugars, when they don't have living enzymes, when they're kind of meant to sit on a shelf, or if we're more taking on dairy products or meat-based food sources, it's kind of one step removed from that natural synthesis of that energetic information that's coming directly from the sun. So if you think of how plants essentially get their energy or transmute energy, they are photosynthesizing, so they're taking essentially that light spectrum, utilizing the minerals and the elements of the earth, and through the process of photosynthesis, integration with water and the molecules here on earth, they are creating their structure from that, okay? So that is a very, very highly charged transmutation of that solar energy, that solar information. And because it's such a pure form of the essential building blocks of life, it also really helps what your body is continually doing in terms of its own synthesis and transmutation into making the structure of what you are. So now, how do I eat, or how does this work in terms of my daily diet? For me, because again, a lot of what I'm eating is fresh salads. So all of the colors of the rainbow, really making huge salads that integrate as many vegetables and fruits as I possibly can. And although my diet is a little bit boring and it's more information based or energy transmutation based, okay, it actually really helps myself in terms of my cognition, my energy output, my ability to handle stress. So these are some of the things that you will find really change in terms of your own auric output as well. Okay, and when I talk about your aura, I just mean the energy system that you are, because of course there's the body itself, and then there is an energetic eminence that you are that extends far beyond the body. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of my aura, or your aura. Now, this auric field that we all emanate, that we all are essentially pushing out into the universe in each and every moment, does intermingle with other auras. So if you've ever had an experience where somebody comes into your field and you just feel an immediate lowering of your vibration or lowering of your energy level, it's because their aura is converging with your auric field, and they are essentially transferring energetic information to you. This goes back to a little bit of that understanding of the non-physical. The non-physical is always in existence. It's always happening. It is there beneath everything. It's that subatomic quantum field. But again, that subatomic quantum aspect of what you are is really more of what you are than even the body. But it's just the fact that currently, while you're in a body, you perceive through the lens of the body most of the time, okay? So again, any kind of disease that you are going through, or any kind of issue with the body, and it's really important to understand that the current state of your body is not the static state. So you can change the way that your body is functioning. You can change the output or the emanation, the culmination of disease within your body by simply changing your habits, your thoughts, and what you're feeding the human suit. Okay, so that's my first number one tip is, if you really want to see dynamic change, to feed your body with as much living raw food as you possibly can. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. I want to cycle this back, or circle it back to the medical community. There's a great book called The China Study. Okay, it's quite a heavy read. If you want a movie or documentary version of this book, you can watch Forks Over Knives. Okay, these are a group of physicians that have made this beautiful information. They really walk you through the studies and the comprehensive scientific information behind what I'm saying. It's not necessarily my task in life to be a researcher and to get into the specific study of these areas, but more so, I'm here to give you as much of that overview of information that I possibly can, and then lead you in the right direction so you can do that deep research to back up what I'm saying in these videos. Okay, so the second thing I really, really want to focus on is that non-physical aspect of you. And the non-physical aspect, the things that are non-tangible, that you cannot see, touch, feel, smell, experience, are your thoughts. So this is your inner world, your thought world. And this is your connection not only to the divine realm, but to that non-physical quantum realm. And this is where you can affect matter essentially from that base element, or the non-physical element, that will trickle up to all of the other layers of attitude. We tend to also have energy to do more of those proactive things that are going to put our system back into balance. When we get into the lower vibrational thought forms of depression, anxiety, and worry, they can bog our systems down and prevent the positively acclimated actions that would actually rebalance the system. So if we can think of it in this very simplistic way in terms of disease, that there is distortion or disease, and then there is this peacefulness or lack of distortion and disease. And as we move up in terms of our consciousness, we're going to rid ourselves of those distortions and then rebalance everything essentially from the top down. So we're using that non-physical, that quantum realm as an extra element of our healing journey. Okay. And again, this is where that faith comes in. If you can utilize everything in terms of your consciousness to rest or lean all of your worries onto a higher power, allow yourself to essentially let go and let God surrender to the journey, then you have more energy to do that actual work that you need to do in the physical aspects of reality to put your system back online and to balance everything out. Because again, if we're in worry, if we're in frustration, if we're in these thought forms of anger or any of these lower vibrational elements, we will not have the energy we need to put things back into balance. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about some of the other physical aspects that are really important to integrate in terms of your healing journey. So first of all would be exercise. Well, we've already went through diet. Second, our thought forms. So really the third element I want to talk about is exercise and also supplementation. So when we think about exercise, we really want to get our systems moving because again, if you look energetically in terms of everything that is out manifest in the universe, the element of movement is really at the foundation of everything that is. So when we're stagnant, when we are sitting around or in a lower energy emanation of what we are, we're not going to feel that highly vibrant energy. Now, there are going to be instances or times where you cannot really get out and move. I've been through it. I've been in a situation where I really was in a hospital bed for, an extended period of time. And in that case, yeah, it is very difficult to move around. But, if you have the opportunity, or if you are in a state where you're not yet, if you're not yet experiencing that lack of mobility, this is the time that you really need to focus your attention and do as much as you can, even when you're tired, to try to exercise the body, oxygenate the system, because again, having oxygen in the bloodstream and really working the organs in the body are going to help you in terms of energetically moving things through the body. You really want to engage all of the systems essentially within your machine. That's how I like to look at my body. It's a machine. How am I going to utilize it? So really expanding the lungs, using them to their fullest capacity, trying to expand the capacity, using your heart, getting it really activated, using all of the elements of your body, flexibility, everything that you can do to really be working with the body system as much as you can. And remember, practice makes perfect. You may start out and not have a high level of mobility at this moment, and you're going to have to work up to it. But remember, everything in terms of these changes are small and cumulative. Okay, so each and every day, if you put in that actionable effort, at the end of even a year, you're going to see tremendous changes in terms of how you feel, how your body and its entire system works. Okay, let's look at one of the fourth things that I think is really monumental in terms of affecting your body systems and what's actually manifest in terms of your three-dimensional human suit, essentially. And that would be supplementation. Now, in terms of the quality of food that is currently available on planet Earth right now, it's important to remember that through over farming through mass production, we're not necessarily getting the quality of ingredients or the quality of minerals and vitamins from our soil that we have in previous eras. And even to take it a step further, due to the globalization of our food sources, we can actually get a lot of a more diverse spectrum in terms of what we can build our body systems with. And this is where tapping into ancient wisdom, herbal supplements, all of the different nutritional supplements can really help augment your system in terms of how it is recreating and recycling itself. Because remember, each and every day, your body is rebuilding or renewing what it is, those building blocks of what you are from a three-dimensional matter-based perspective. So implementing good quality supplements in terms of your brain health, body health, anti-inflammatory supplementation, all of these different antioxidants, and really these core elements of nutrition. I am going to make a video on what I actually take in terms of my supplements, because again, not to say that what I'm taking is, going to necessarily work for you. You have to really test it in terms of how you're feeling in your own body. If you are taking a certain supplement and you find that it makes your heart race, or you feel like it makes you sluggish, or doesn't help, there's not really any positive benefits from it, then it might be something that you want to take out. But if you are taking it and you feel like when you miss these supplements that your energy level goes down, for me, that's the biggest indicator. I take quite a large amount of supplements every day, and if I forget to take them for 2 or 3 days, I definitely see a few things crop up. One of the first things I notice is a decrease in terms of my cognition. And what is really poignant to me will be how quickly I can speak in terms of getting the information out, how quickly I can synthesize information in terms of my businesses and managing stress, as well as my irritability levels. So if things will irritate me quite quickly, or if I get frustrated quickly, again, that is a decrease in my peacefulness. And when my body is at its optimal levels, I am extremely peaceful. I can handle whatever comes my way, and I have the ability to really tackle any task. So that is a real key element I look for. Also, my energy levels. If my energy levels are really high and I'm able to, again, take on a lot of the things that I want to do, a lot of the projects, if I'm able to really get in a good workout a couple times a day, I'm not feeling like I just want to be a couch potato. Those are the kind of indicators of what I'm looking for. And also excitement. So when you're in a very high state or high level of beingness or health, you're going to feel excited about life. You're going to be excited for the connections that you're making. You're going to feel really integrated and charismatic around other people. Having those interactions are going to really fill you up. When you're in a lower state of being, you kind of want to withdraw, and you become more acclimated, or you lower yourself rather into this more distorted vibration where you kind of go into hermit mode. Now, this isn't bad. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, because that's when we go into this hermit mode, it is our bodies signaling to us that we are tired, our energy levels, our auric field is depleted, and we need to kind of move away from others and really reacclimate our energy centers, okay? But these are all indicators that you need to start to pay attention to in terms of your own body system and how you're actually doing in terms of your own health journey. So I don't want this video to get too long. I will make a few more videos today in terms of this, because again, I feel like this transformational journey in creating the best body, mind, and spiritual health that you possibly can in this lifetime will lead to this emanation and this out manifestation of the most beautiful life that you can, a physical existence that you perceive or experience your body through. So how do we make this applicable? How do we actually put this into something actionable? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of a layman's way of understanding the brain. I don't want to get into too much hardcore brain science, even though I could do that. But the best way to understand how your brain works and how information and energy is transferred, the more you think a thought, the structures or the more that the structural elements of your brain move closer together to reinforce that thought. So if you're thinking a lot of negative thoughts, again, the structures of the brain will tightly align themselves to that acclimated thought and be pinging to it essentially over and over and over until it becomes your pervasive reality. So what you have to remember is there's a certain amount of diligence in understanding the working of your own non-physical self. You have to pay attention to your thought forms. And if you're wanting to enact a change to the physical world, you must also start with changing the non-physical world. So how do we do this? How do we actually put this into practice? Well, it's positive thinking. And I know that that seems very simplistic, but it actually is very simplistic, even though it's hard to actually do. So every time you have a doubtful thought, every time you have a negative or scary, fearful, judgmental, any of these lower vibrational thought forms, you want to quickly move away from them. And this is going to directly correlate to the health of your body because, again, it's really important to understand that the lower vibrational elements of consciousness or thought forms do correlate to distortion. And the more highly distorted your system, the more easily dis-ease or discomfort and therefore mutation in terms of your body systems can precipitate into the material world. So if you want to be proactive and to really target your body systems from a non-physical aspect, while you are also targeting the physical aspects through diet, like I was mentioning in the first point, this would be the second thing that you have to do to balance your system, is to really focus on the thought forms that you are emanating in terms of the quantum field. This is also where the spiritual aspect of what you are comes into place, okay, or comes into play rather. So this is where having a faith in a higher power, having a faith in this energy of love is truly acclimating your thoughts to that highest vibrational potential, to understanding that in all that is, in all creation, that you are supported, you are loved, and that what you are is constantly learning and growing. It has no beginning, it has no end. So that's again where we can cycle our consciousness back to ridding it of its lower vibrational distortions that can be rooted in fear and all sorts of, again, very chaotic thought forms, and raise up within the accessible layers and levels of consciousness by practicing how we utilize the mechanism of the mind, or rather rising our own perspective into that peaceful, wise, loving, divine mind. Okay, now how will this affect the body? When we think in these high vibrational thought forms, what happens is, again, because our brain affects our entire system in terms of our biochemical output. This is how, through the system of the body, we can integrate a more balanced system with our positive thoughts. And again, a lot of studies and research have shown that those patients that have a positive outcome or a positive attitude have more positive outcomes in terms of all things to do with health and wellness. Whether you're dealing with cancer, whether you're dealing with risky surgery, or anything to do with your own health care journey. It is very, very important that you keep a positive you can experience. And it is my goal to help through these videos to teach you how to create that balance and that peaceful, joyful, exciting, adventurous energy in your life. The more individuals on planet Earth that really get into the energy of a beautiful existence, a beautiful zest for life, the better and better our planet becomes, because that's when you have the energy to be a great spouse, to be a great parent, a mother, a father, a sister, a friend. And the more that we can learn as human beings to be that highest emanation or that highest possible out manifestation of what we are, we will see that mirrored back through the collective, and we'll see really a transformation of Earth's energy. This is what we really are talking about when we talk about that new Earth energy. And part of that is helping to assist all of those around us on their journey towards this highest aspect, or the highest synergy of what you can create your life to be. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be making more today, and hopefully they will also have a lot of great information that you can utilize to live your very best life.